From Independence, Kentucky, it's Sports Without Boundaries with Eric Deters and his sidekick, Nick Batista.
Ladies and gentlemen, American German Bulldog Nation, welcome to our weekly Sunday evening sports show. Eric Deters, you're truly with my co-host and sidekick, Nick Batista. How you doing, Nick?
Great, Bulldog.
Well, Nick, I got a couple announcements before we get diving into our topics. First off, we got a slow week here. We're only at 26 instead of 56. But if you've noticed, the shirt that I'm wearing is the same shirt I wore yesterday when I did my Facebook Lives, etc.
Oh.
I am still wearing the same T-shirt I wore yesterday. I wore it yesterday, I slept in it, and I'm wearing it today, and I don't give a damn, Nick.
All right. You smell okay. Looks like it's inside out.
Ain't that the way you used to? I know it looks inside, but that's the style of the shirt.
All right.
But it looks like it's inside. People tell me, I've had these smart alecks on Facebook like, your shirt's inside out. I said, no, it's not. Jeez, oh, freak. In fact, one person said, how can we trust what you say because your shirt's inside out?
That's huge.
All right, let's get with it. First off, the Reds won again today. 6 games in a row. They're back at. Lost 6, come back with 6.
Right.
Against some good teams.
Man.
San Francisco, Arizona.
Arizona was number 1 in their division.
They called up Christian Encarnacion Strand. His name is so long, Nick, they just lopped the Strand off. They didn't put it underneath it. They just said, you, for now on, forget about Strand.
Longest name in the MLB.
Is it? It must be, because they couldn't put the whole damn thing on. And he's playing really, really well, including his first hit, a pitch hit home run.
Oh, my God. Everybody they call up is a freaking superstar.
Now, I don't know when they started keeping track of all this stuff, but LA Data Cruz, I think they said StatCast history, as long as we've had StatCast.
2015.
2015.
Yeah.
Well, since 2015, LA De La Cruz threw a ball this week, 99.8 miles per hour to home to cut down a runner, the fastest ball thrown in the infield.
He's going to take somebody's head off.
They do it 6 feet off the plate, too.
Well, here's the good thing. He threw it so fast that the catcher had time to catch it and take the guy out.
Yeah.
There was no bang, bang blade when you go 99.8. The catcher just goes, okay, I just got to catch this ball.
Put him on
and
the
put him on
mound.
the tag. I was going to say, let him pitch.
Yeah.
He's got to be their emergency pitcher.
They need pitching.
All right, Reds, yesterday, back Friel, McLain, Fraley, back-to-back-to-back home runs.
I saw it. I was there watching it.
You were at the game?
No, sorry.
Oh, you were on television?
TV, yeah.
On TV?
I called the third one. I was at a family gathering, and we saw the first two, and I said back-to-back-to-back, and boom.
What do you think about your Cleveland Guardians? How are they doing? They're in second.
We took 2 out of 3 from the Phillies over the weekend, but the damn Twins never lose, so we're still 2 games back.
The Brewers lost again today, so the Reds
did they?
are very fortunate. They're going to the Brewers. Milwaukee only half game out.
Half game, okay.
But they go. I hope they sweep them. All right, Scott Rowland made the Hall of Fame, along with Fred McGriff. Now, let me just tell you something about this. And I'm just shooting straight with you, okay? When I hear name Scott Rowland, I think really good ball player.
Right.
I do not think Hall of Fame. Now, listen to this. I say the same thing about Fred McGriff. They're the 2 guys that made it.
Right.
But the one thing that stands out with me about Fred McGriff is he had only a few, 7 away from 500 home runs.
Right.
That makes a huge difference to me.
Exactly. And he waited a little.
In other words, I think Fred McGriff maybe did have a Hall of Fame career. But let's face it. I mean, and by the way, I'm not even saying it's fair, okay? But when we say King Griffey Jr., Hall of Fame. When you say Joe Morgan, Hall of Fame. Right. Rod Carew, Hall of Fame. You don't say Hall of Fame when you hear. So, by the way, I think Votto's in the same category.
Oh, absolutely. There's no question.
Go ahead.
These Hall of Fames, I mean, they got to get guys there for the money. I mean, that weekend is huge for Cooperstown and for MLB. Rowland, I didn't think was a Hall of Famer, but his stats, man, 17 years, 15 All-Star games, 8 Gold Gloves.
Yeah, but his offense wasn't that good. If you're going to count the defense, how come Davey Concepcion isn't in the Hall of Fame?
True.
Right, Josh Wentz?
Yeah, and I agree with you. You got to say the name, Hall of Fame or no.
He doesn't stand out.
Matt McLain, it's unbelievable, the other night, hit his first career Grand Slam. You know this guy guy right now of all the rookies has the, and this was before this weekend, most bases by any of the rookies. Cruz is fourth. They got 2 of the top 4 rookies.
That's unbelievable, man.
I mean, it's weird. I've been telling my cousin Josh now, it's impossible to not dream, okay? The Big Red Machine, those grade 8, special players. However, this team, if lightning were to strike again, we know you got to do it long time.
Right.
You got to do it for a long time, and you got to be consistent. But let's face it, these guys seem like they like to play baseball. Right. They get excited about playing baseball. They hustle. They got speed. They play defense.
Yeah.
It's got that feel of magic to me.
It does. And
I hope they don't trade any of them.
2 of those guys they got in a trade for, remember Tyler Malley?
Right, yeah.
They got 2 of those guys. Who'd they get?
Malley.
I can't remember.
Like Fraley and the other guy, Friel.
How about Malley? Malley's never been a hitter. Malley's even hitting the ball now.
Unbelievable.
Can you imagine? By the way, I know his dad. I don't know him well, but I know who he is. My cousin Josh knows him well. How big of a thrill is it for the Malley family that Tyler is playing catcher in Cincinnati? Because they're from Northern Kentucky.
Oh, right.
Cub Cat the whole bit.
Right.
I mean, it's like gotta be wild.
Hometown, man.
It's
great.
Jeez, old Pete. And then they their number 2 pick, they signed Ty Floyd. By the way, even the Reds pitching has gotten good.
It's gotten better.
By the way, this is hysterical. Weaver pitched today, right? He got hammered in the 4th, so they took him out. He's got nearly a 8 ERA. Do you know that they have won 9 games with him pitching?
Well, his starts. They've won 9. It's amazing.
He's the one that pitched the great Friday night game I went to where De La Cruz hit for the cycle.
Yeah.
He gave them 5 runs in the first inning. Right. It's like, just go out there and pitch, we'll win. Maybe he's their 3rd pitcher in the playoffs. Just go out there and give up some home runs and we'll win.
They got good middle relief.
All right, UK basketball playing in Canada. Well, before our last show, they finally won. They won the gold in Canada. You know where they stayed? They hung out in Drake, the singer, $100 million house.
Oh, I didn't know.
Swam in the pool the whole bit. That's where they stayed.
I did not know that. Was Calipari with them?
Yeah, Calipari was with them. I wonder if there was any extracurriculars going on that night. They are adults.
What's the NCAA think about that?
Well, it was in Canada. It doesn't count. I had to put this in there because remember, we're sports without boundaries.
Right.
There is a Carnival cruise, apparently nude. You know what I say when I hear it? And I speak for every man. I speak for Josh. I speak for Nick. I speak for every man. As soon as I hear that, the first thing I think is a whole bunch of ugly naked people.
Old shrivelly guys and women.
Because if you've ever seen like those news programs when they say they're going to bust a nude colony or whatever, and I've watched some HBO specials where they have these things. They're all ugly. Nudists are ugly.
We got one in Cincinnati. You know that, right?
Yeah.
Up there.
Yeah. A bunch of pervs are going to thinking they're going to see hot chicks. Nope.
No.
And every man, am I not right, guys?
Yeah.
You know I'm right. This is funny. We reported last week about Wimbledon and Djokovic lost.
Mm-hmm.
This just cracked me up. A record fine for Basham. It was like 3,000 pounds.
I know.
I mean, I'm like, really? Record fine.
100 grand?
3,000 pounds? I'm sure Djokovic emptied out his coin box for that one. Dale Earnhardt was on the way to a Budweiser. Remember, he was posted by Bud. Yeah. And this is funny. Junior says that his dad was taken into a meeting with some Budweiser executives. And he said, Dad, he was young. He says, do I have to drink a Budweiser?
Do I have to drink the beer?
And Senior looked at him. He says, you damn right you do.
He said, I didn't like beer at the time. But
he did like, isn't that a great story? Oh, you can hear the enforcer. Can you imagine the enforcer as your mentor?
They probably drank while they drove.
Oh, my God.
Those were the days, fellas.
Those were the real men.
That's right.
Have a proper country.
That's right, man.
Racing.
Kentucky Derby winner died. What was the name of the horse, Josh? I forget.
Yeah.
Funny Side.
23 years old.
Sad. By the way, Mage, on some horse news, we'll just throw it in here. Mage finished second in his first race after the Triple Crown races. Finished second, lost. I forget what race it was, but lost. All right, Aroldis Chapman has thrown the fastest baseball pitch in Texas Ranger history.
Right.
104. Do you believe Chapman's arm is still holding up and still throwing 104? It made me think and made me hope that De La Cruz, by the way, I'm going to be called a racist. De La Cruz can keep it up too. And my theory is, do these guys that are coming from the Caribbean, Cuba and Jamaica, and all these places they come from, maybe they're just genetically got rubber arms.
Well, yeah, remember Satchel Paige?
Right, Satchel Paige. They brought up Satchel Paige.
But he said he never worked out. He didn't have bulky muscles. He had long tendons and ligaments. And that's what Chapman's got. That's what De La Cruz has.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So, let's face it. This just doesn't happen.
No.
I mean,
genetics.
I think it's genetics. All right. We're getting a protest now.
Good.
Me too. Erica Herman, Tiger Woods' former girlfriend, has dropped her lawsuit because she thought she was going to lose. Now, I have to admit, I feel a little bit sorry for her, and let me explain why. Okay. Now, I'm Team Tiger, but I don't feel sorry for a reason. Can you imagine one day you're Tiger's girlfriend, traveling the world, seeing everybody, everything, and the next day you're not Tiger's girlfriend and you don't get to be in the house?
He paid her off.
Do you think that she's contacting Tiger's friends that are also rich that may not be loyal to Tiger?
Possibly, probably.
I think if she's devious, she is.
Sure.
She's going to start hitting on Tiger's friends.
Tiger's enemies.
All right, this is for you, buddy. What do you think of the Browns' new helmets?
Is that what you see? It says brown helmet here.
The Browns.
It's the Browns.
The Browns, when they first came into the league in 1946, they wore all white, including the helmet.
Really?
Yes, they did.
I just want to say this about the helmets. It's better looking than a damn brown helmet.
No, they wear orange helmets. They don't wear brown helmets.
Just think if the whole freaking AFC Central were colors. We're the Reds. We're the Blues. We're the Greens.
They'll probably get to that.
How the hell the Browns? And I know it's a Paul Brown, but a big deal. All right, I can't drive 55. Jordan Addison, a Minnesota Viking, was clocked going about 104.
140.
I thought Henry Ruggs was the one going 140.
They both were.
They're both going 140.
Yeah.
They're both going 140 miles per hour.
Yeah, he didn't learn from Henry.
Right.
How the hell are you doing this?
Well, Ferrari, Lamborghini.
Jeez, oh Pete.
I'm sure it was smooth.
My God. All right, the Commander's Soul deal closed. Magic Johnson is part of the ownership. He thinks it's wonderful. And there's a rumor that they might change their name for a fresh start.
They should. Absolutely.
You know what they should do? They should go and they ought to have a little short meeting of the board of directors and their COO and all that in the matter of 1 minute, take a vote and say, yes, we're going to be the Washington Redskins again.
Forever. Magic cried.
Washington Redskins. He's a crier.
He is, boy.
By the way, I want to tell you something. All right, we talk about living. Michael Jordan's the GOAT. Magic Johnson's on the Mount Everest of not Mount Everest, but Mount Rushmore of great
basketball. Yeah.
How lucky of a guy his life as Magic lived. Magic, young, goes to the Lakers, championship, first freaking year, all that stuff. And then he gets AIDS, HIV. Yeah. We all were like numb. We're like, Magic's gonna die. Magic doesn't die. No. Magic becomes a billionaire.
He gets cured.
And he even keeps cookie. He kept the cookie.
And he cheated on Cookie, and they're still married.
They even showed him cheating on her in the show, Lakers show. That's a great show. Have you seen Lakers?
No.
What's it called? It's on HBO. The second season's coming out. It's great. The guy that plays Pat Riley doesn't even really look like Pat Riley, but the guy nails Larry Bird. He looks like Larry Bird, acts like Larry Bird. In fact, the guy said, he goes, Larry Bird's going to love season 2. All right. Marlins coach got hit with a foul ball and broke his leg.
I didn't see it.
Oh, it was a wham and broke his leg. I've never heard of coach losing his leg. Well, not losing his leg, getting it broke. Have you?
Tommy sort of fell over in an All-Star game one time from a foul ball went over his head.
Wasn't that wild?
Backwards.
Tommy Lasorda, he got to coach the Dodgers, of course. But I remember because I was a little boy. Alston was their coach in the 70s, and Tommy Lasorda was the third base coach. And he stuck with him. He became the manager, of course. All right, Ring of Honor. Boomer Esiason and Chad Johnson. I say yes to Boomer. You know what?
I think
Chad was just a big distraction.
Oh my God, was he? But I see Boomer Esiason is getting completely disrespected here, and I never liked him as a player, but I watch him every day. He's got a show out in New York, and he's great. I love him. He should have had his own day, man. Chad Johnson.
Yeah, I agree. It's not the same. You know what? You know what's great about the current Bengals team is we don't have a Chad Johnson. We don't have a Pac-Man Jones. We don't have a Perfect. But I just, remember the Hall of Fame? Yeah, you made the Hall of Fame, okay? The Bengals Ring of Honor. He ain't going to make the Pro Hall of Fame. Do you know that he went to, it's kind of sad, he went to New England, he couldn't understand the plays.
Right. I mean, Dave Lapham should be. Is Dave Lapham in that?
No, but he ought to be.
Chad Johnson.
All right, you ready for this? Joe Burrow's number 2 on Madden. I'd like to know why he's not number 1.
Oh, come on.
I'm teasing. I understand why Mahomes is. Hell, even Joe Burrow says he's the best quarterback.
Right. I mean,
much to the chagrin of Chase.
He got graded as a 95.
Number 10.
Hey, read that list. I didn't pay attention who were the rest of them. Who are they,
4?
Josh?
Lamar number 4. Come on.
Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson,
Boom.
Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, Dak Prescott, Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, Tua Tagovailoa.
Okay, how
can Kirk Cousins be in the top 10?
Because he's a stat machine, that's why. And he builds him stat.
Why is Dak there?
Yeah.
And I'm a Cowboys fan. All right, Cincinnati Beard Guy wants to shave and start over.
I never heard of this guy before I saw this story.
They got busted for weed or something.
Nice.
That's an ugly-ass beard, man.
It's terrible.
He probably had the weed. There's probably a bong. There's probably a bong on one side, and his weed is stored in the other. Don't you think?
Looks like it.
All right. The first reaction when you get hit by a pitch, if you're a batter, is to beat the hell out of the pitcher, right? In Japan, this guy got hit by the pitcher, and he went out and hugged him.
No.
Yes.
I did not see this.
Hugged him.
Do we have the video?
Isn't that disgraceful?
Yes.
I mean, come on. You're supposed to look at him. All right. Next topic is, again, remember, we're sports without boundaries.
Oh, okay.
There's been a lot of shark sightings around. There are more and more shark sightings on beaches and everything else. There is a theory that our sharks are getting cocained up by the cocaine bundles dropped in the Gulf and the ocean during the great cocaine migrations in the 80s.
Right.
Is that hysterical? We had Cocaine Bear, which is a true story. We're going to now have Cocaine Shark.
Why not this? Sure.
Are sharks not bad enough? Why do they need to be on cocaine?
Holy shit.
Exactly. A shark on cocaine? Goodness gracious. All right, 2 things. Bryce Harper makes our news twice. First off, he had this weird at bat. They said he was sick, but he goes to the bat, and he stood there.
This is against the Indians.
He stood there. 1, 2. He took it to a full count, struck out looking. Yeah. I mean, the bat never left it. He didn't even. It was hysterical.
His manager must have disrespected him or something.
Maybe it was a dare. I'm going to go up and just see if I can get. It was crazy. Then he made a fantastic catch going in the dugout while he's playing first base.
Yeah, I saw it.
Wild.
His first game as a first baseman.
Correct. All right, Deion Sanders did not make the Pac-12 day because of his situation. He apparently needs two more surgeries because of You know what? This stuff gets scary.
Yeah.
Because they were clots. They were clots and everything else. And you all know the clot goes to the old lungs. Boom. I mean, so isn't this wild, as famous and great and rich and good as Deion is? And then you think of the irony because he was so fast. Then he might lose his foot.
Right. Well, he's already lost, 2 or 3 toes. Right?
Yeah. It just tells you, baby. Life comes for all of us.
Well, we signed that wide receiver from Tampa Bay, Goodwin. He's got blood clots now, so he's not going to start the season.
God.
Totally normal.
All right. 76ers Joel Embiid married a Sports Illustrated model. I don't even know her name, but I wanted to do a story about this. Look Look at the size difference.
If that guy was a bricklayer from Shabokin, you think she would?
No.
Look at that guy.
No. Well, I always
like
talk about
Sasquatch.
Bruce Springsteen wouldn't be able to get a date if he wasn't Bruce Springsteen, but he's Bruce Springsteen.
Looks like a Yeti.
Look how smooth. Look at the size difference.
Her name's Ann De Paula.
Now,
Oh, I didn't know she was a model, huh?
oh, she's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
At least he picked well, pretty wise. All right, how about this? Oliver, you don't pronounce the X, right? Oliver Rioux, 6'10", 12-year-old.
Oh, right. Yeah. How about this?
I wonder if he's a fan of Victor.
These guys die young.
Years old, 7'6" at 17.
Yeah.
I know, isn't that nuts?
Is he going to be 8 foot?
He looked down on Kyler Murray. He had a picture with Kyler Murray
Yeah.
on. How you doing, Kyler? All right, last but not least, Brian Harman won the British Open, his first major. Is McElroy ever going to win again? They've asked him that. I'm going to keep plugging.
Yeah,
They thought McElroy was going to be Tiger Woods.
Yeah, they did, and he's
All right,
top 10.
But tell the American people, tell Bulldog Nation, what is so special about this man kissing that trophy?
He's a great
Brian Harman.
It's a great tournament. He's a Bulldog from Georgia. And they kept saying, he goes, I'm a Bulldog, I'm a Bulldog. He's a farmer, too. Just bought a new Kubota tractor. He's going to go back and mow his 40 acres on the Kubota.
Why didn't he buy a John Deere?
With the claret jug, exactly.
Damn Kubota. He should have bought a John Deere.
You'd love this guy, man. He's going to drink beer out of the claret jug tonight.
You know the British, their mascot's the Bulldog. So here's the Georgia Bulldog
Right.
winning the British Open is a pretty darn good story.
15 out of the last 20 years, Americans win the British Open.
You gotta like that.
About that. Go, America.
Well, we might have only had 26 topics, but we did it well. Do you have anything else you'd like to add to sports today?
No. What can I think of right now?
I want everybody to know that before I go to bed tonight, I'm going to take a shower and change my T-shirt.
Thank God.
On behalf of Josh, our producer, Nick, my sidekick, and yours truly, thank you for tuning in. Spread the word. Best damn sports show in America.
Thank you.
See you next week.